Oh, unflattering assessments of world leaders by US diplomats and spying on the UN Secretary General. That's information anyone has now access to after classified documents from US embassies across the globe were revealed by online whistleblower WikiLeaks. Well, for more on this, I can now cross the line to our correspondent, Guyana Khan. She's in Washington. Guyana, the files contain US foreign policy secrets. Has the leak exposed anything surprising or perhaps even explosive?
Well, Bill, a lot of people are saying no. Those are thousands of cables from American embassies around the world sent to Washington and from Washington. They expose diplomatic information never meant for public eyes. But experts say most of those documents are nothing new for the international diplomatic community. Most diplomats are kind of aware of the U.S. attitudes. But all that revealed in public did raise some eyebrows. Take a listen.
We know pretty much most of what the United States thinks about leaders and about events and processes. The embarrassing thing would be simply to see it in print on official documents.
You know, some experts are saying that what's really outrageous is not the fact that the U.S. has secrets, but that it's no longer able to keep its own secrets. Those are some very embarrassing moments for the U.S. State Department now. The release shows not so much some huge secret facts, but rather the level of correspondence among U.S. diplomats, which some described as similar to high school kids' chit-chat. The U.S. Embassy in Paris described, for example, the French president as a naked emperor, thin-skinned and authoritarian, or the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, for some reason, mentioned as Angela Teflon Merkel. Or, among other things, the U.S. Embassy in Moscow described President Medvedev as playing Robin to Putin's Batman. So you find a lot of nicknames in those files. Actually, you know, that would be kind of an amusing read if it were not so diplomatically embarrassing, let's say. Bill?
What amazes so many people is the fact that it's possible that such a vast amount of classified data has been released into the public domain. Do you think, did someone actually push for this to happen? Do you think there's a hidden agenda somewhere behind all this?
You know, Bill, there are lots of versions on who would want those leaks released. Some even guess that someone might want to undermine Obama that way. Let's listen.
As I understand, the Obama administration is supposed to pay the bills of the last administration, because some documents are dated back to the year 2004, 2005. So I personally have a feeling that this is ongoing attack on President Obama, which started not today and which aims not to allow him to be re-elected. This is the thing, I think.
You know, many were quick to dub it as a diplomatic crisis for the U.S., not just because of the facts revealed there, but first of all because of the revelation itself. How is that possible, right? If secretive U.S. State Department allowed this to happen, and second of all, how embarrassing just often those diplomatic cables were that we have seen. Some are saying that this could be the job of government insiders. Here's this opinion.
These leaks would never have happened if not for the number of insiders who are ready to leak this information. It looks like it's linked to the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, when officers understood that they are working for a not exactly fair business, and this moral decay inside the Pentagon caused these leaks. The main thing this leak has done is break the illusion that the State Department has everything under control. There have been exposed mechanisms, not secret, but quite simple and cynical. Partners of the US will be more careful now. It's another sign that the US is no longer dominating the world.
You know, the Obama administration is ordering now government agencies to immediately review procedures for safeguarding classified information there. And, you know, this is just yet another huge batch of classified files released by the whistleblowing website. It's certainly not the first one. Earlier this year, WikiLeaks released thousands of secret documents on U.S. actions in Afghanistan and Iraq. They showed civilians killed by American forces. Some experts are saying that what's really outrageous outrageous is not just the fact that this was happening, but this is just being that the U.S. State Department is no longer able to control that outburst of information. You know, one U.S. senator even said, even offered the U.S. State Department to include the WikiLeaks website in a list of terrorist organizations. So desperate is the United States to sort of cover up for these leaks.
Just finally, how is the US going to deal with the consequences of these major leaks?
You know, Bill, we've just earlier heard Hillary Clinton say sort of that this is just what our diplomats are saying. This is not what our policy is. Diplomats hearsay is one thing and policy is something different. Just take a listen to what she said.
I want to make clear that our official foreign policy is not set through these messages, but here in Washington. Our policy is a matter of public record as reflected in our statements and our actions around the world.
You know, even though the U.S. State Department is kind of trying to play this down, saying that this is not our official attitude to those countries, to those leaders mentioned, despite the fact that, you know, some expect there will be some awkward moments when actually Hillary Clinton sits down with some of her counterparts in other countries. But, you know, some of her counterparts, including Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, were they commented their reaction was kind of quite restrained, and he said it is an amusing lead there, but Russia's policy is guided by actions, not by leaks. Take a listen.
It was fun to read, sure, but in actual policies we prefer to base our decisions on our partners' concrete actions. We're planning to practice this approach in the future.
Well, this could make the U.S. foreign policy a little more embarrassing, but the message there is from the U.S. State Department, from Hillary Clinton, is that it should not affect their relations.
Ghana, thanks very much indeed for that. Ghana, Wiki-clinton joining us live there in Washington. Well, to speak more